We're still short of chairs here.
Okay. There's some over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All you want? All you want?
I just want to get my coffee.
So if I sit here, am I going to be blocked from the camera entirely?
But would you mind scooting over that way a little bit so that it can see you that way?
Or I can see that way.
Ready for you? This way. I just want to test to see how far you can see. Yeah, I don't know. I feel really bad about myself. I didn't realize that I had such a loving, supporting family. Hey, thank you for coming.
I don't want to be here. I was forced to do
I
this.
know.
I really was.
Do you want any food? Do you want me to go get you some?
No.
You don't want any like fruit or?
I just want this to be.
Okay. I mean, that don't happen. Hey, Scott, can we sit sit at this table?
You
Or are we gonna
can.
be-
Your head will be in the live stream.
You don't want to be in the
It's
live
kind of
stream?
not like right. You are perfect right now. If you move up, you're out of. You're going to be. It can be like a prairie dog. You can just like. What?
Okay.
Maybe a bad metaphor on a Thursday morning. Sorry about that.
Thank you. He said if Nick shoots his head up like a prairie dog, he will be in the shot. Yes. Yes. Don't get too surprised. Your eyebrows will be in the shot.
Like the donut or a bagel.
I said, do you want anything? And he said, I want this to be over.
It's fun.
I know, right? If you're not hungry, yeah.
Trying to fix that now.
I don't know if you saw in your program, my name is right here, and they even asked, they're going to say it right. Yes, they are. She asked me how to say my last name. I hope she knows how to say my first name.
Well, that's pretty common. Though.
Well, but it could be Brianna.
Yeah, 'cause
It usually is, yeah.
like 2 miles.
I know. The parking on this campus is a nightmare. It's really sad.
Fun, isn't it?
Yeah. This is
I'm trying to keep about being social.
Well, I can introduce you to my coworkers. They're very nice people.
You take my fork for some reason.
Oh, yeah, I did. I opened it for you.
Do you want to use it?
No, I don't
I don't
even
need
need
it.
it.
I just got to
Brady, aren't you in Vegas?
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Thank you for coming, Jim.
It's free.
Exactly. You can't turn that down. Against the religion.
No, with the camera. Kaylin called when we were driving here and she said, "They tell you congratulations."
Oh, thank you.
Barcelona.
Nice.
They're lucky you made it from New York to Lisbon.
Last night, they've been sleeping in the same, walking around in the same clothes that they wore.
Wait, but it's not lost, right? Like, they have the luggage, it's just delayed.
Yeah, it just got delayed.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, she's got air tags on it,
Oh,
so she can track it. And when she was in the air leaving New York, she looked at her air tag and her luggage. She and Lauren both were still in the airport.
In New York.
that's bad.
So they flew to Lisbon. They got to Lisbon and started making calls and all that. And then they went from Lisbon to Barcelona, like, right away.
Yeah.
And so their luggage, I mean, they got there yesterday early, and their luggage just got to, it went to Lisbon last night. And then this flight to get up to Lisbon.
Oh,
She's so mad.
this has been a very stressful start.
For a big man.
This was just her carry-on, but she checked.
Does that have an air tag on it?
I don't know if she put an air tag on it or not, but she can track in through the shipping company.
Okay. Oh my god.
But Lauren's, both of their suitcases, and it had all the toiletries.
Of course. Everything you need
Yeah,
to
everything.
be out away from home. How long are they going to be gone? Because this is 6 weeks, 6 months.
They're traveling for 2 weeks, and then they go to Florida, so they're there for a month for school. So they're traveling for a couple of weeks for
Gotcha.
around.
So when they get to Florence, will they be able to kind of have stuff like that there?
Yeah.
Like obviously your clothes aren't replaceable, but shampoo and stuff like in the door, I assume.
Well,
She'll be staying.
she should get a luggage before then.
But if it's not like just worst case scenario, it is lost. Like she has okay.
It just won't be
Her stuff.
safety.
Exactly. Oh, that's so stressful.
Yeah.
Well, he flew in Lisbon and just came to plane for this Barcelona. And she's going to be in Barcelona.
Oh.
That's what I told her. I said, why don't you just let her hold your luggage down and listen to me?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. After all this. Turn my phone.
Can't get up to a good post.
I don't work for
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Celebration of Excellence. I'm Stacy Maroney, Dean of the School of Education, and you've been able to see a slide deck that's been running through that has some of the most wonderful memories from this past year. So it is indeed a day of celebration, a celebration of us and of you. And so one of the things that Scott, I think, has in the queue that you may have seen is our U.S. News and World Reports ranking came out this week. You probably saw it. We continue to be, there we are. We continue to be a top-ranked school of education. We were recognized in a number of areas that you see up on the top of the screen. So I won't belabor the rankings, but it was, again, really good news for the School of Education. So there's lots of people to thank, and Jeff assures me that he's going to thank all of you for all the things that you did to make this happen. So again, welcome. It is a day of celebration, and I'm going to turn it over to Associate Dean Jeff Anderson.
Good morning, everyone. So we are going to go ahead and start our celebration. As the Dean noted, we are very proud to work at a place with so many amazing things going on. So I'm going to ask our presenters and our awardees to please begin to line up on, is this stage left or is that stage left? Gus, stage left, please. And we will come across the stage and exit stage right. Dan Hickey.
Over there.
Right. Yes, the left and the right has been a problem for me my entire 61 years of existence. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr.
First, on behalf of the Research and Development and External Partnership Committee, we're honored to bestow this year's award for outstanding research to our colleague Dubravka Stetin Valdivia, Associate Professor in the Department of Counseling and Educational Psychology and the Inquiry Program. As you can imagine, it's difficult to single out one colleague out of an array of outstanding nominees forwarded to the committee, especially given the very different areas of research represented in the work of the various faculty. Yet within that impressive collection, Dubravka's work stood out to the committee in several ways. Within the last 3 years, Dubravka produced 18 published manuscripts, plus a book chapter and commentary, and applied for 7 extramural grants, 3 of which were funded for over $2 million, with 2 grants still under review. This past year alone, which is the primary focus of the awards criteria, she produced 9 publications that includes 2 first authored and 4 co-authored with students, as well as a book chapter and an NSF grant submission. Although it's not usually relevant to refer to citations when discussing recent research accomplishments, Dubravka's recent spike in citations is noteworthy. First, one of her articles published in the last 3 years, Multiple Group Invariance and Categorical Outcomes Using Updated Guidelines, has already been cited 200 times despite its very specific and technical focus. Additionally, 60% of all citations of her work, which date to 2011, occurred between 2020 and 2022. Dr. Svetlana Valdivia is an internationally visible and highly productive colleague whose work adds considerably to the reputation of Indiana University School of Education. We're particularly impressed that despite the impressive trajectory of her work, throughout Peru remains highly accessible to students in all of our programs of her teaching and scholarship. You all have noticed the little queue of students outside of her door on a regular basis. So anyways, the Research and Development External Partnership Committee is delighted to present this year's award for outstanding research to Dubravka Svetlana. I was told there was going to be a photo about it now, but I made a mistake.
I will take it.
I always do with the term. Okay.
This way now.
So you never open that up. Thank you. On behalf of the committee, we're honored to bestow this year's award for outstanding partnership and collaboration to our colleague, Kyung-Won Kwon, Associate Professor in the Department of Instructional Systems Technology. We are recognizing his work in developing and partnering with schools locally, regionally, and now internationally to develop curriculum and learning activities for teaching computer science and AI concepts and skills at the primary and secondary levels. Dr. Kwon grew this work out of a single engagement at one Bloomington area school, Childs Elementary, into a formal program adapted at 4 schools, then expanded the work to rural Southwest Indiana and most recently with international partners. We also appreciate greatly the work was started with a seed fund from the School of Education Profit. You should know that this is the primary function of the Profit Grant, is to generate seed funding, and so we're particularly impressive in that regard. That led to the development of an NSF-funded mixed reality learning environment that uses augmented reality. Dr. Kwon works closely with teachers in the schools using this resource to iron out the technical and pedagogical issues, develop lesson plans employing the system, and most importantly, train teachers to use the materials. Further building out, Dr. Kwon engaged with schools in southwestern Indiana, where 7 teachers agreed to work with him in co-designing a week-long summer camp curriculum for middle school students, in which 17 students participated this past summer. From there, Dr. Kwon took his work to the international stage, building a close partnership with the Islamic World Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Thank you. This project in rural Indiana inspired ICESCO to initiate a project that offers professional development for teachers introducing AI and CS tools in primary and secondary education. The project has been proposed to the Azerbaijan government and will kick off, if accepted, will kick off workshops to Azerbaijan teachers this summer. For this impressive example of building research-informed partnerships with K-12 colleagues locally, regionally, and internationally, we're proud to recognize Dr. Kwon as the recipient of this year's award.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the International Engagement Committee to present the award for Outstanding International Engagement. It is a great honor to present Dr. Patricia Kubo with the award for Outstanding International Engagement. Dr. Kubo has had exemplary and extensive international engagement in our School of Education across IU, nationally and internationally. She has coordinated the new master's program in international and comparative education and engaged in various international projects in the Middle East and further in other parts of the world. She has received multiple federal and internal grants for international exchange and research, and thus advanced the field of education in Muslim societies in multiple ways. Her publications and scholarships are a treasure trove, and we're all fortunate to know and learn from Dr. Kubal. Congratulations on this award for outstanding international engagement, Dr. Kubal.
Thank you. I'm Joshua Davis, Chair of the School of Education Diversity Committee. And is Marcus Kroom in the house? We didn't think we saw him, but I was hoping he appeared. So I wrote my remarks as if he were standing here, so hopefully you'll bear with me. It is truly an honor to present the Martha Dawson Award for Outstanding Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Achievements to Marcus Kroom. This is a real privilege because this award is meant to embody so much just wonderful work by Martha Dawson, who left a legacy of supporting diversity and diverse learners in everything they do. And I think Marcus represents that legacy in all the best possible ways. Quoting from Marcus's letter, his approach to his work, and I think his life, regards A, human diversity as a long-standing, undeniable fact rather than some unchosen or chosen pursuit. B, equity is a practice rather than merely an awarded or unawarded accomplishment. And C, inclusion as a process that begins with interrogating the nature of that which we all presumed to desire, and we're all presumed to desire involvement. These are powerful ideas, and from my experience, Marcus is one of the rare individuals who lives these ideas in all of their efforts, spanning research, teaching, and service in a consistent and truly sincere, warm manner. I've seen firsthand Marcus's efforts to support the entire IU community with training, helping us all broaden our perspective on race and diversity. In the recent revisions to the school-wide diversity plan, we were heavily influenced by Marcus's framing of race, and his nomination letter applauded his ongoing efforts to integrate this perspective into his teaching as well, including developing new and innovative teaching opportunities, such as a recent effort to develop a program for undergraduate students in the School of Ed to find opportunities to learn from teaching practices in Ghana. And of course, our program, Marcus's program of research helps us to better understand how teachers think about and practice race in consequential ways, and how we might help develop new racial literacies, work that couldn't be more important now in America. I believe Martha Dawson would be proud of Marcus and the work he is doing. So with all sincerity, I'd like to say first, thank you, Marcus, for this amazing work. And second, congratulations on the award.
Good morning, everyone. The Burton Gorman Teaching Award is given for distinguished teaching and seeks to recognize those teachers who engage in the highest level of creative and innovative teaching practices. Professor Karen Woland is the very well-deserved recipient of this year's Gorman Teaching Award. Karen has a long history of engaging in creative and innovative pedagogy, and is indeed a teacher's teacher. In recent years, her online teaching has offered us all a masterclass on what it means to teach in ways that meaningfully and reflexively engage with interactive technologies. Her online courses invite students to move away from print-centric ways of developing knowledge on complex methodologies, methods, and concepts, and instead she invites students to use the methods in interactive and collaborative ways. The many distance and residential students who enroll in her courses strongly concur, adamantly in fact, that Karen's classes offer a state-of-the-art, immersive, and supportive learning experience. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Karen for her great work as a teacher, a master's teacher, and on receiving this year's Gorman Teaching Award.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sabahat Gök. I'm a PhD student. I'm also the chair of the Award Committee for Excellence in Mentoring. Each year, a committee of graduate students in our school reads through student nominations and selects a faculty member for the Award for Excellence in Graduate Mentoring. This year, we had a large number of strong nominees. However, one professor stood out as particularly stellar. The 2023 Award for Excellence in Mentoring goes to Dr. Jessica Lester, professor in the Department of Counseling and Educational Psychology. In the nomination letters, students highlighted her holistic and humanitarian approach to her mentorship. One student wrote, Dr. Lester is proactive in helping disabled and marginalized students navigate the academic system. She makes visible the things that would have otherwise stayed invisible. Another student wrote, she's genuinely interested in me as a whole person that has helped me to make the most of my opportunity at IU. Her efforts demonstrate characteristics of exemplary mentorship, and I'm pleased to present Dr. Lester with this award. Thank you for everything you do for us graduate students. Dr. Lester, congratulations.
Hello, my name is Jordan Miles. I am serving as one of the co-presidents of the Dean Advisory Council this year, and as a club, we elected who we were awarding the DAC Student Choice Award. So the faculty member that we have elected has shown continued passion, dedication, empathy, and so much more to her students and their learning. She's created a class that is not only welcoming to all students, but accessible to all learners. Outside of her class content, we have been able to count on her to help share our events, surveys, and much more. And due to her efforts to share our efforts, she has continuously encouraged her students to advocate for themselves, for their education, and their future careers. So with that being said, I am so honored to present the Student Choice Award to Dr. Janet Decker.
Good morning. I'm chair of the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, and I'm really honored here to present some awards to some very deserving people. Desiree Ippolito has served as an instructor for a course that's considered probably the hardest one in math education. Many elementary candidates have significant reservations about teaching math, and the mathematics education faculty described Desiree as consistently exhibiting excellence related to teaching and leadership. Among her strengths are being accepting and open with her students while holding them to high standards, using the feedback features on Canvas very well so that she can see what they're experiencing and make adjustments in real time. Keeping a great command of pacing in her class, and making sure that her students are very engaged. In recent years, Desiree provided leadership to other graduate students around the content and planning for that course, and she clearly has earned this award. Sharon isn't here. Sharon Daly is, I'm sorry, Javier. Come on, Javier.
I can be Sharon.
No, don't be Sharon. We want you to just be. So Javier is earning his doctorate in arts education. His current practices as an associate instructor were forged in part by his formative experiences teaching in and out of school context with diverse populations. Before coming to IU, he had experiences working in K-12 schools, working with adults, working with children in community-based organizations, as well as prisons. He has also been an educational leader in environmental organizations. Two elements that tie Javier's excellence as a teacher together are his commitment to developing engaged social justice work and humanizing creative pedagogical practices. One student wrote in their course evaluation feedback, "This course continued to open up my mind to new perspectives and understanding. I have had prior classes similar to this, and this class was a fantastic summary of some of those prior classes. Amazing instructor." Sharon is not here. She's on sabbatical, well-deserved, but I will tell you all about her. She's been a faculty member. She came in with me, so she's been a faculty member for about 11 years in literacy, culture, and language education. In that time, she has always centered the student. Our students, our teacher candidates, as well as the students in the field placements that her students are in. And she has kept effective teaching up at her top priority. A great deal of her success results from the way she bridges the college classroom and the real-world settings that her teacher candidates are working in. She develops relationships with schools and, most importantly, with teachers. And she facilitates teachers' candidates' extension of what they've learned in courses with the practices they must use in the field. Sharon has also been a valuable member of the EdD program that she helps to coordinate. She has helped many of us in the building, especially me, become better instructors. Sharon also contributes to teaching through her research that pushes the field forward and brings effective practices to teachers in the field. Congratulations, Sharon. Dr. Alicia Elfish. Ali is the director of this Transitions to Teaching program that we have in the School of Education that prepares individuals with bachelor's degree in a content area to become teachers in the field, in middle schools and high schools. Every year, Ali accomplishes this Herculean feat of networking with schools and superintendents and principals, recruiting students, teaching courses in that program, and coordinating the program altogether. Her commitment to this work extends well beyond those considerable responsibilities. She has also won a grant to support students so that they help them support their path to teaching. This is incredibly important at a time when schools all over Indiana and the nation are really struggling to find effective teachers. She also contributes to the research and publishing in this area. Congratulations, Ali. Gus Welton, Dr. Welton. So Gus is an associate professor in arts education, where he developed and launched new programs and courses around drama and theater. Hence, instead of calling it the art education program, we now call it the arts education program. Students express their appreciation for his teaching through course evaluations, and more than once by stopping me in the hallway to tell me all about it. Gus challenges us to think about learning and therefore teaching in new ways. He innovates in his classroom by focusing on the embodiment of identity and understanding. His contributions extend past the classroom as his research presses towards unique and transformative educational experiences. We're grateful to have him. Congratulations, Gus.
All right, when Jeff Anderson says you're up, so here I am. I'm Chad Lockwood, I'm the Chair of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, and I have the distinct pleasure of presenting our Outstanding Associate Instructor Award to Catherine Purcell. Catherine, do you want to come on So Catherine teaches H205, which is Introduction to Educational Thought. This is a required course in our Educational Policy Studies program and our undergraduate program. She is recognized as being a rigorous, courteous, kind, welcoming, and supportive instructor. Some of the comments from her students include, she was a fantastic instructor, very kind and understanding, clearly knows what she's talking about doing. She's an outstanding professor, is known for keeping everyone on task and helping us feel supported and valued. She was incredibly supportive in helping me deal with some important mental health issues as well. Faculty rave about her dependability and professionalism. Indeed, there was unanimous support for her as this year's recipient of the award. So please join me in recognizing Catherine Purcell as the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies Outstanding Associate Instructor. All right, unfortunately, our recipient of the Trustees Teaching Award could not join us in person this morning, but I'm pleased to recognize Jennifer Rippner, who is a lecturer in the Educational Leadership Program who specializes in education law. Jennifer coordinates the Education Law Certificate and is recognized among her students as being one of the most organized, caring, supportive, and courteous instructors that we have on our faculty. She's also recognized as a caring and engaged doctoral committee member, and speaking for the educational leadership faculty, we're thrilled to have her as a colleague. So please join me in recognizing Jennifer Rippner as our recipient of the IU Trustees Teaching Award.
Good morning. Well, it's very fitting that I'm here to introduce the outstanding associate instructor in instructional systems technology, because the word outstanding has shown up on Lynn's course evaluations more times than any other case that I've ever seen. So she is truly outstanding. She has cultivated a deep expert teaching practice, one that involves listening as much as it does speaking. One of the things that most impresses us about her is that she sees students not as a class, but as individuals. Each semester, Lynn builds a schedule to meet one-on-one with each student. And at these meetings, she answers class questions and helps with projects. And she also asks each student questions about their interests and goals. Lynn is a listener and an encourager and an instructor. The other thing that stands out is that she shares her practice with others. Lynn volunteers to update Canvas materials, go to community events, and she was the conference chair of the IST conference this past year. She jumps in to help when others sit back, and she is truly outstanding and exceptional.
Good morning. I am really thrilled to talk about the recipient of the Outstanding AI Award for the Student Academic Center, Suol Kwan. Suol works with students in our program for students who are in the process of academic probation. So these students are really at a crisis moment in their lives, and I cannot think of a better person to be there and meet them in that moment than Suol. Watching Suol teach is like a master class in teaching. She has it all. She has the techniques, the interactive engagement, but all of this is delivered with this very generous, humble heart. Suol, maybe more than any instructor, really thinks about, okay, what we're talking about, what we're doing in the classroom, how are these students actually going to live this in their lives? And she was the one who actually had the kind of courage to break it to me. Molly, the students have been honest with me, and they're not going to spend more than 1 hour tops every day on school. They're not going to do it. And I think I just didn't really realize it. So Suok really understands, meets them where they are, and understands exactly how to have that compassion with them, and then as well to work on techniques to improve their academic outcomes, but really always with respect for the student and meeting them where they are. So thank you so much, Suok.
Okay, now we have CEP's award winners. All right, Liz Melfi. Liz is an outstanding AI whom students regard as caring, empathic, and encouraging. Liz seems to have mastered the art of teaching online courses well. I need to learn from her. I'm teaching my first online course this summer. One student wrote, Liz was friendly and could clearly communicate assignments and deadlines, which is impressive, especially for an asynchronous course. And that student wrote, even though this class was entirely online and asynchronous, I feel like this instructor was very available and encouraging to her students. I liked this course because it taught me a lot about child and adolescent development. Good job, Liz. Okay, Jonathan Kang is an outstanding AI who has the gift of making his students feel heard, seen, and valued. One student wrote, and this is oozing with love. Love, 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 Instructor Kang. I'm not making this up, I'm quoting directly. Super cool person, cracked some jokes here and there, and genuinely made sure that all of us were getting something out of this course. I could tell it wasn't just simply about teaching the course, but about connecting with the students and making sure we really learned the materials. One of the most, if not most, caring instructors I've ever had. Other students wrote that he constantly pushed them to do their best, and that his course, Asian American Mental Health, opened their eyes to the struggles of Asian Americans. Jonathan. Okay, Dr. Francesca Williamson. She has won the Outstanding Adjunct Instructor Award. Dr. Williamson's teaching in qualitative methodology has included introductory courses, more advanced discourse theory classes, and Black methodologies. Her courses are beloved by students due to their rigor, critical orientation, and the care she takes in mentoring students to think with theory and methodology. We're grateful to her invaluable contributions to the school and the qualitative and quantitative research methodology program. My understanding that is, Francesca, this is your last semester teaching with us, that you're moving on to, and so we're going to greatly miss you, but we'll always cherish your connections with us. Thank you. Dr. Ellen Vaughn is a winner of our Trustees Teaching Award. Students in Dr. Vaughn's classes consistently speak about her commitment to offering her students a positive learning experience. One student wrote, Ellen has been a wonderful instructor throughout the semester. She always comes to class, organized and prepared. She answers questions effectively. She includes various forms of media in the classrooms, such as handouts and videos. Another student wrote, I really enjoyed that the class actually taught skills we could use with our clients. And what I liked most about the professor was how knowledgeable she was about substance use counseling and practices. I would also add that Ellen is universally loved by her advisees, and that she's a previous winner of the Outstanding Mentoring Award. Just really pours her heart into mentoring her doctoral advisees. Congratulations, Dr. Vaughn.
Hi, I'm Tina Honeycutt, and I was standing over there thinking, please don't make me follow Joel, please don't make me follow Joel. He's way too funny. So, I'm following Joel. I knew, see, it's kind of like, don't wish for things. I am so happy to be here and tell you that I get to honor, this is one of my favorite times of the year, when we get to honor our outstanding future educators. The Indiana Association of Colleges of Teacher Education give us the opportunity to recognize 5 of our student teachers as outstanding future educators. And this year, we get to recognize Anthony Frankel, Kirsten Horlicker, Josie Pace, Yuying Ouyang, and Taylor Wessel. And I want to tell you a little bit about each of them. Anthony Frankel is a health educator who just wrapped up his student teaching at Chesterton Middle School. And his university supervisor notes that he takes every opportunity to improve student success, and that is the forefront of all he does as an educator. Tony plans to stay in Northwest Indiana and wants to teach health and PE. We got to spend the day with our future educators in Indianapolis and get to know them all a little bit. Tony's going to be fantastic, as are all of our future educators. Kirsten is a Teaching All Learners candidate. She's student taught at Grandview this semester, and her nominator notes that she is dedicated to meeting the needs of all students. She's thoughtful, kind, and makes an impact on everyone that works with her. Kirsten is moving to Nashville, Tennessee to teach at Julia Green Elementary School and is eager to start her teaching career and continually grow as an educator. Josie Pace is wrapping up her student teaching at Edgewood Primary School and hopes to continue working there. She loves the community and district. Her supervisor shares that every once in a while, I meet someone who I think embodies what it means to be a teacher. Someone who is creative, kind, and a natural leader. Josie is all of those things. She cares deeply about the students, staff, and community. Yuying Ouyang is an early childhood candidate that is finishing her student teaching at University Elementary. Her supervisor shares that she's a natural leader of children. They seem to be drawn to her friendly, assuring, patient manner, and she leads and guides the students with her genuine positivity. Yuyang will continue her educational journey at the University of Michigan. She plans to become an educational innovator, exploring the application of educational technology and using online education platforms to help more people access equal and high-quality educational resources. And Taylor Wessel just finished her student teaching in special education between Childs and University Elementary. Her supervisor shared that she quickly establishes a great rapport with both the students and staff she works with, and that everyone knows how much she cares about them. She's been a joy to both staffs because of her confident and upbeat manner. Next up for her, she'll be heading home to Naperville to work as a behavioral specialist this summer at Naperville North High School, and then she'll be teaching in Franklin Township Community School Corporation. We are so excited to recognize our future educators and look forward to what they do in the future.
Hello, everyone. We are honored to speak today of our CASE Challenge winners for 2023. Yes, it was a great event. Yes. This year's CASE Challenge centered on the topic of protecting youth mental health. The challenge, which ran from January 30th through February 25th, had 10 teams challenge themselves to answer the key question: how can P-12 schools and school districts provide innovative and creative supports for students and their families who are dealing with mental health challenges? The teams were charged with creating a 3 to 5 page written research paper detailing their research and solutions, a 1-page executive summary, and a visual and oral presentation which they delivered to members of the SOE Alumni Board who served as judges for the competition.
The competition was close, and the difference between the top 3 teams was less than 10 points. The students who were involved were inspiring due to their high degree of professionalism, academic rigor, and heart. We cannot wait to see what next year brings. The School Ed CASE Challenge was made possible by a generous contribution from Dr. and Mrs. Vernon Johnson. Our 2023 winners: first place, Amy Rotherhammer and Zane Kim, who are abroad and Global Gateway. Second place, Olivia Wood and Jenna Milosh. And third place, here with us, Ainsley Epperson and Claire Ashcraft.
Good morning, everyone. It is truly my honor to present this year's winners of the M. Jane Cahoe Staff Recognition Award. So our first recipient is Brianna Zia Borhan. Brianna joined our Office of Grad Studies just 2 years ago as an admissions credential representative, and in this short time has truly made a profound impact. Brianna very quickly emerged as a leader of our admissions process, evaluating and streamlining that process to make it easier and much more efficient. In 2022, Brianna not only managed one of the most challenging admissions seasons that we've had to date, but also willingly stepped in to help another understaffed academic department with their student service needs at a very difficult time. Brianna not only performed that additional work expertly, quickly mastering some of the more complex tasks that were given to her, but also left behind very thorough notes to help the next staff in their onboarding process. Brianna has demonstrated a strong commitment to excellence, a positive attitude, and a focus on truly extraordinary customer service. Brianna's work here so far has helped not 1, but 2 departments, and we know we'll continue to see amazing things from her. Congratulations. Our second recipient is Katie Cerniak. Katie had worked for the school both as a grad student and as a project implementation manager years ago in our Global Gateway for Teachers program, but she returned to the school in 2019 to be our assistant director of Inspire. She was named the director of Inspire in 2021 at a most difficult time in the pandemic when our students needed support more than ever. Katie, however, was up to that challenge. With a sensitive ear and a genuine and thoughtful approach, Katie provided extraordinary support to our students in the place not only where they learn and where they study, but where they live. As one nomination letter aptly noted, Katie has set the tone for Inspire, creating a safe place where students feel accepted for whom they are, where vulnerabilities are allowed and understood, and where supports are provided no matter the time of day or night. It's no wonder that last year's Inspire students named her the most successful one-woman show. We have to agree. Katie is an extraordinary asset to our students, to our colleagues, and to our school. Congratulations, Katie. Our last recipient could not be with us here today, but please allow me to share some words about Catherine Harder, our third recipient of this year's award. Catherine joined the school in 2021 as an IT support technician in our ETS contact center. It was clear from the start that Catherine's technical abilities were extraordinary, but it was really Catherine's stellar customer service skills and her implementation of more structured processes and documentation that really got the attention of ETS leadership. She was promoted to lead technician this past year, where the true impact of her leadership style could be felt. As a result of her leadership, the Contact Center has not only continued to provide extraordinary support to our faculty and our staff, even in the face of tremendous staff transition, but has done so while continuing to build more effective processes and really helping to contribute to the development of the ETS team. Catherine has been an invaluable asset to our school, and we are clearly better for having Catherine as a mentor in and a member of our community. So please join me in congratulating Catherine Harder.
Scott's done an amazing job of handling some slides that have been out of order this afternoon. So I am up here to actually introduce Chad again. But I just want to say a couple of things before I bring Chad out onto the stage. I made a promise to a colleague who is retiring after a very long time at Indiana University, who has single-handedly moved the institution forward, has brought teacher education and teacher preparation well into the 21st century, and has led a large group of very talented people for a long time. However, that promise was to not do anything in recognition of her upcoming retirement. So I want you to look in your program and notice that in the bottom corner here, it says special recognition, and it has been left blank. Chad, with that, I'll kick it over to you.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Would you two like to come and join me on the stage? So, it's very difficult to keep a secret from Jill Shedd. It has taken an entire school-wide effort to keep a secret from Jill Shedd. But we have succeeded, because the first she knew that this was happening today is when she saw our special guest, who I'll introduce here in just a minute. The Indiana University School Administrators Association is a group of alumni that is affiliated with the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies. These individuals are individuals who have served or who are currently serving as principals and superintendents across the state. This organization periodically identifies an individual who has made a special contribution to the field of education. Past recipients of this honor include emeriti faculty, including Martha McCarthy and Gary Crow, and more recently prominent state leaders such as Robert Taylor, the Executive Director of the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents. This year's honoree recognizes that at our core, we are an institution that prepares individuals for a variety of careers in education. That includes preparation as teachers, counselors, principals, superintendents, and higher education administrators. The individual we recognize this year has been vital to our success in these efforts since 2000. Indeed, she has ensured that districts throughout the state of Indiana have access to the finest classroom teachers possible, and further ensured that those teachers are prepared right here at IUB. What's more, the individual we recognize today has been an active advocate for public education. Indeed, she took on one of the most noble roles, serving as an elected school board member for Bartholomew County School Corporation for 16 years, which happens to tie the second longest tenure in the district's history. In this role, she championed more inclusive policies for students, supported the needs of teachers as professionals, and worked with the administration to create Columbus Signature Academy New Tech High School, which opened in 2008. In fact, I'm pleased to be joined today by Bill Jensen, the Director of Secondary Education from BCSC, who is representing the district and joining us in the celebration. Bill? So it is with our gratitude and our extraordinary admiration for her dedicated service to the profession and the state that we recognize Dr. Jill Shedd as the 2023 IUSAA Special Contributions to Education Award recipient. Congratulations, Jill. To the other presenters, I have to apologize. The box that was ticking under the podium is a mantle clock. It was wrapped. So Jill, you'll be able to unwrap it and we'll take a picture of it later.
Oh, yes. You have a picture of me?
An interesting point is I invited Jill today, or actually asked her if she could attend it, to help me out. And if you notice, she helped a lot this morning with the organization. So, and that's Jill Shedd. Oops, I just used your name, sorry. Our Provost Award for Undergraduate Research and Creative Activity goes to Dr. Tanisha Riley and Wisdom Bicknell, who Wisdom just emailed me this morning, or maybe in the last few hours, and she can't make it. But I have to say how impressive that this team, Wisdom and Dr. Riley, for receiving this award, how impressive this is. This is a very, very highly competitive competition that IU holds each year for undergraduate scholarship, which, as the Dean for Undergraduate Education, it's near and dear to my heart. We do have a couple of award winners here in the audience, but for this year, I want to, Tanisha, come on. The committee said about recognizing this particular team was impressed and appreciated how the innovative use of an honors project that supported and encouraged undergraduate research. The depth of the research included survey, statistical analysis, dissemination of findings, and mixed methods approaches. Been pretty cool for undergraduate work.
Sure. So Wisdom Ibukunle had this really ambitious project that she's finishing this week, hopefully to submit. But the research project that Wisdom mostly works on in our research lab examines Black adolescents' everyday emotion regulation and racial discrimination experiences and mental health outcomes. So for those of you who might be familiar, our research team is called the BEAM team, and it stands for Black Youth Emotional Development and Identity in Group Context. On this particular project that Wisdom has helped with, she's been a really valuable member to our team, recruiting participants, helping to develop research protocol. Aside from her honors thesis, one of the major contributions that she has given to our team is that as we were developing our questionnaire, she noticed that the assessment of pubertal maturation, which is important to sort of identify youth along their developmental maturation, was dated. It's from the 70s, and so it's not inclusive of gender expansive and gender non-conforming youth. Wisdom helped us to make changes to that survey, and we hope to publish those changes later so that we can be inclusive of all adolescents in our research.
We will end the event with several community recognitions and introduce Professor Alex Flinkoff.
It's a very large picture of my face, I'm sorry. Thank you, Jeff. It's my distinct pleasure to represent the recognition of the Home Scholars Program in the School of Education. The IU Home Scholars are part of a vast network of over 700 graduate students that share the common bond of pursuing higher education while their perspectives and identities remain vastly underrepresented in higher education. This program was established in 1991 by the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education to provide mentorship, peer support, and professional development opportunities to graduate students that were, and remain today, traditionally underrepresented. Graduates from the Home Scholars Program hold positions at all levels in higher education, from university presidents to newly minted assistant professors. The hallmarks of the program are threefold. One is the promotion of diversity in our profession to help prepare educators and leaders that can serve diverse learners, what we like to call in our program, lifting as we climb. To work together toward the diversification of ideas and perspectives that populate higher education through the production of robust scholarship. And three, to establish the kinds of networks that will help meet our aspirations to be a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive institution of higher education. At IU, our program began in 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, with an initial cohort of 9 students, and today our program serves over 30 scholars. Over the years, our scholars have worked together to create a tight-knit community of doctoral students that write together, support one another, and on occasion, party together. Since the inception of our program, our scholars have presented at numerous academic conferences and attended and presented at annual meetings of the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education in New Orleans and Indianapolis. They've attended leadership institutes in Washington, D.C. to better understand how to enact change at the highest levels. Within our institution, our scholars have also participated in various professional development activities, worked together in writing groups to sharpen their scholarship, and supported each other through brown bag professional presentations. But perhaps one of the highlights of our program is our mentoring program, where faculty from the School of Education have dedicated their time and energy to help our home scholars navigate the racial and gender dynamics of our institution and higher education at large. Our mentors provide critical friendships that motivate our scholars to challenge the structures that lead to a more diverse and inclusive institution of higher education. Our 2022 cohort of scholars come from a wide range of disciplinary fields within the school, counseling and educational psychology, science education, school psychology, instructional systems technology, and curriculum and instruction. They come to us from all over the world and all over the United States, and they are determined to change the future of higher education. So I ask today that any mentors and scholars from our 2022 cohort please rise. And I ask that you join in celebrating and thank you for celebrating future professors and leaders of higher education working toward a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable future. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I am putting my glasses on so that you'll recognize when Anne comes up, she does not need glasses because she is younger and has better eyes. I'm up here to announce this year's cohort for the Armstrong Teacher Educators, but before we do that, if anyone in the audience identifies as an educator, I'd like you to please stand up. Okay, I think we don't recognize and applaud. No, stay standing, Karen. Especially you. Right? I think we need to recognize educators more. So if you could please help me recognize those educators in the room. Thank you for doing that with me. Part of my objective with the Armstrong educators is helping them, celebrating them, helping them celebrate the profession, and sort of being seen as representatives in that way. So this is an award where we're going to name some educators who have won it today. I'll be going quickly through because who knew that we would actually be ahead of schedule? And since I was at the end, I was told to, you got to move quickly through this. So I will not give long histories of these folks. One of those reasons is because today is actually the first time we're meeting. Typically, we wrap things up in about March of the year. So these folks are just getting named today and shared with the world, and then we'll work with them over the next year before we name the next cohort. And I do want to say that I gain more. This is one of these where I gain more than I give. I've learned so much from these educators over the years, and hopefully our students have learned so much that it's just really amazing and gives me so much faith that that our kids are in great hands across the state of Indiana. So, to get to business. The first one, the first winner I'll announce is Tim Baker, who is a language arts educator at White River Valley High School. And I guess what I should have said is, if you are here, I know not everyone is here, if you are here, if you could please stand and stay standing, and we'll recognize the group at the end. And, right, because we're talking about teachers here, at least a handful of these folks are actually administering iTest and iLearn right now, so that's why they couldn't be here, right? So they're doing the good work and had to stay in their building, but some were lucky enough to join us. So, again, Tim Baker, language arts educator at White River Valley High School. Stephanie Barnes, if you can stand, please. Who teaches language arts at Creekside Middle School. Sorry, my picture just went away. There we go. Aaron Gilmore, who's a business educator at Northwestern High School. Janae Hartman, who is a social studies educator at South Bend Clay High School. Jenna Hudson, who's a music educator at Edgewood Primary School, right down the road. Tammy Josephson. And Tammy teaches first grade at Pope John the 23rd Elementary School. Next we have, I believe this might be a first. Courtney teaches science at an all-online school. So she said she teaches kids from across the state and maybe even beyond, but we'll have to explore what expertise she has to share with us. So Courtney Love, who is a chemistry educator at Indiana Connections Academy. Kirsten Milks, who's a science educator here at Bloomington South. Many of you might have had kids go through her classes. Farhana Sharma, who is a third grade educator at the International Leadership School. And just as a side note, I was a little worried because I hadn't received acceptance of the award from Farhana until this morning or late last night. And she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we're on spring break right now. I'm ignoring my email." And I said, "Okay, good. Keep ignoring emails, enjoy." But we're excited to work with her next year. Caitlin Snack, who's a reading specialist at Ernie Pyle Elementary School. Brooke Stewart. Brooke is as a science educator at South Central Senior High School. And then Andrew Todd, who is a 6th grade teacher at Mary Ellen Castle Elementary School. So if we can give another round of applause for all the announcements.
Not wearing glasses. I'm so honored to be here with you today, even though I'm coming from my sabbatical. It's nearing the end, but I'm going to hang on to every last minute that I possibly can. But it's been my honor and privilege to work with amazing technology-using teachers through the Jacob Educator Award. And Adam is way ahead of the game and has already recruited us next year. We're still finishing celebrating our 2022-2023 amazing teachers. So thank you very much. So I'm just going to read off their names and areas, and then there's one, I think there's just one Jacobs teacher here, unless I missed somebody, just Carissa. So I'm going to read just a little bit extra since I've got 2 minutes. Okay. Tim Arnold is our district e-learning specialist at Richmond Community Schools, and he comes with a long history of working with all different grades and all the technology that he uses. It's incredible. Erin Brown is a 5th grade teacher at Sugar Grove Elementary School up in Center Grove, and her work has been incredible as well. Her classroom management and the way in which she uses technology is amazing. Allison Coulter, who teaches 5th grade at Avon Intermediate School, and her work has been amazing in terms of the way in which she engages students with her social studies and reading work. Katie Jones, who is a 4th grade high abilities teacher in Maple Grove Elementary, also the amazing projects that her students come out with is absolutely incredible. Casey Oding is an instructional technology coach, and she works a lot with literacy for our Yorktown schools. Hannah Rhodes, who is a 2nd grade teacher just down the road at Edgewood Primary School, and does incredible work managing all of her 2nd graders through slides that move throughout the day with all of these different timings on it. And she's co-teaching, so it's a 45 kids, 45 2nd graders in one classroom. Just think about that for a minute. And then Carissa Schwanekamp, who is at Plainview, and she spent her entire 19-year career there. And this year, she was Plainview's Community School Corporation's 2023 Teacher of the Year. And she was also in Indiana's top 10 Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Indiana as a finalist. The work that she does and the amazing things that she does with engaging students and having them use video to express themselves and have student choice is really inspiring. And not to mention that she is also an IU alum. Carissa, can you stand up for just a second so we can celebrate it? And I think that's about it. But thank you for your time and joining us in celebrating these amazing technology-using teachers.
So this brings us towards the conclusion of today's celebration. I want to highlight a couple of things. Adam noted the focus of the celebration, at least one aspect of it being on teaching, on educators. This event actually started off for many years as a celebration of teaching, but I'm also quite encouraged by how the community has evolved over the years, and I thank Donna Stevens for bringing the celebration of staff excellence, Patrick McCamey and Emily McCord for bringing the celebration of undergraduate excellence, and our entire community for celebrating the excellence of who we are and what we are. I have to say a few thank yous. Very specifically, Scott Whiskey, yet again, for putting all this together. Janet, are you here, or did you sneak off? Janet Fox, for all kinds of reasons. Cameron, are you still here? Cameron Turner and the Dean's Advisory Council for supporting the event. Cameron Satterfield, all morning helping us organize that. And Cameron's also a student member of our School of Education Policy Council. Of course, the Dean's Office who makes this possible, the staff of Office of Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, undergraduate and teacher education, Graduate Studies Office, and the entire community of students, staff, and faculty that make the School of Education at Indiana University such a dynamic, vibrant, and wonderful place to work. I can't imagine something that would make me more proud. Well, except I got a couple of kids graduating here, but truly, being part of this community, this is the favorite part of my job, is to celebrate how cool this is. So, that's it. Thanks, y'all.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Made our life so much better.
I know. I'm standing around gathering.
Not a bad reason. Lunch then.
I guess there's a big one. See my face. Exactly.
No.